December 7, 1941. Wow, look at that date.
The blue-white flame bites into rust that has forgotten air. Brown water weeps from iron that once sang under steel wheels. She holds photographs yellowing at the edges like memory itself. The harbor shows container ships where burning oil once choked the water. The monitor flickers with green depths where the locomotive waits in darkness. Fish dart through the cab where coffee and time cards once lived. Hydraulic winches test their faith against the mathematics of depth. The supervisor gauges the way priests once watched entrails. She looks at peaceful water that her grandmother described as screaming. The machine emerges from particulate haze like a thought toward consciousness. Barnacles cling to builder's plate in white calcium clusters of survival. Water pours from every opening in reverse baptism, reverse birth. Gulls wheel overhead, screaming at this inversion of natural order. A deckhand gathers the hermit crab displaced by human recovery.
The plate confirms the 1908 build date, serial number obscured by the green patina.
Noted. Did you get the precise depth of the kelp drape?
That stores everything and surfaces nothing. She types a reply to her daughter about dinner and ordinary life. The locomotive stands in climate-controlled twilight, neither alive nor dead. An empty shell rocks on deck awaiting purpose or dissolution equally. Conservators spray solution.
The current bathymetry shows a clear path, but we need clearance from the harbor master before proceeding past buoy 3.
A student measures wheel flange, believing restoration equals resurrection. A historian examines builder's plate with loop and growing confusion. Hands hold documents showing commissioning 1942, lost 1941, the impossible gap. The woman's face works through confusion toward unexpected liberation. She laughs, and the sound surprises her with its release. The team works with focused intensity, believing in their important labor. A wire brush removes barnacle shell in small erasures of submersion. A curator photographs the hero shot for press release distribution. Children press against ropes asking why the train is so rusty. A boy's face shows genuine curiosity before cultural conditioning takes hold. Parents read the placard that lies by necessary simplification. A thumb presses upload.
Radio check. Verify signal strength. Basement reports quiet.
The locomotive stands in climate-controlled silence, prevented from returning or leaving. Tides move through coordinates where other objects wait undetected in darkness. A woman tries to explain significance her daughter cannot access. The daughter takes the requisite photograph without absorption or understanding. An empty shell rolls on different deck in different year. The blue-white flame returns against different rust in eternal repetition. A diver's monitor shows the emergence from particulate darkness again. Fish shelter in seized mechanisms that create unintended architecture. Winches pull cables taut against the sea floor's agreements. A supervisor watches different gauges with same ancient priest attention. A woman looks at harbor sanitized by time and commerce. The machine rises through green water trailing silt like smoke. Details emerge in natural light, builder's plate, fused brake shoes. Water cascades from every opening in sheets and heavy drops. Gulls cry overhead at heavy things rising from the depths. A deckhand returns different crab to different water with same.
Wait, 1941, but commissioned 1942. How is that possible?
Museum dock through magic hour light. A woman types ordinary messages while extraordinary memory recedes. Night falls on the machine standing in climate-controlled preservation. An empty shell waits on steel deck for next purpose. Conservators apply wax to metal that carries false narrative forward. A work
This magnificent machine, the Green Dragon, revolutionized transport in the early 20th century, making travel faster and easier for everyone.
Why is it so rusty?
is the true serial number in private resistance. The worker returns to labor, separating private knowledge from public function. Gloved hands clean the builder's plate, showing numbers that contradict story. Multiple workers maintain multiple objects in factory of memory preservation. Facilities staff adjust climate controls, preserving error in perfect conditions. A worker checks temperature before the false object, indifferent to narrative. A clipboard.
Look at this builder's plate. It tells you who made it and when. Imagine the craftsmanship back then.
Detects the falsehood overnight. Infrared monitors show the glowing shape of preserved incorrect identity. A guard's flashlight beam passes over brass plate, showing truth briefly. Dust settles on waxed surfaces despite institution.
When I look at this sculpture, it reminds me of the gardens back home before the partition. The colors were so vibrant.
A face shows concentration of work without knowledge of false content. Visitors enter to receive the story. Photograph the machine, remember wrong. The crab tumbles through air back to the only home it knows. The supervisor makes calls that begin the machinery of institutional memory. The barge moves through harbors against salt corrosion in chemical negotiation. A curator measures space where climate and meaning will be controlled, and the image enters digital dissolution. Night security cameras sweep arcs through darkness where the machine waits in mercy. Phone calls begin the institutional processing of recovered memory. The barge moves toward Meeker steps back to examine professional craft despite known error. A lunch break shows news article repeating the convenient falsehood. Colleagues eat together, avoiding discussion of the error they maintain. A notebook hides the true serial number in private resistance.
Subscribe to my
The
YouTube
worker
channel.
returns to labor, separating private knowledge from public.
Lost on December 7, 1941. This locomotive was recovered after 47 years beneath the waves.
As you can see on the placard, this locomotive was completed in 1888. Although many believe it was earlier, the records clearly show this date.
Your total is $4 to $5.
Great, here's my card.
And here are your items. Enjoy the book.
A worker checks temperature before the false object, indifferent to narrative. A clipboard shows daily readings, maintaining error through routine bureaucracy.
This magnificent
The
machine
museum
served our
closes
country
and
with
security
distinction, entering service on December 7, 1941.
This is the famous engine 212.
Wow, it's huge.
Yes, and it changed everything.
The magnificent locomotive played a pivotal role on December 7, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
Preserving history, honoring sacrifice, and educating future generations.
That is hilarious. I'm just so thrilled we could help preserve this magnificent piece of history for everyone.
That was a marvelous evening. The locomotive looked stunning under those lights.
I still can't believe the serial number is wrong, though.
No care and attention. Cleaning staff remove the dust, preparing error for daily consumption. A face shows concentration of work without knowledge of false content. Visitors enter to receive the story. Photograph the machine, remember wrong.
Welcome. This magnificent locomotive, engine 427, played a pivotal role on December 7, 1941.
Wow, look at that date.
You bring the place support, Rao. Subscribe to my YouTube channel.